Most people think polishing is what makes headlights shine. But here's the shocking truth. Polish is only 20% of the job. The other 80%? It all comes down to how you sand. Get it wrong? Your lights stay cloudy. Get it right? They look brand new. We don't just sand once and call it done. We step through multiple grits. P800, the heavy hitter. It removes the toughest yellowing and deep oxidation. P1000 starts refining those rough scratches. P1500 smooths the surface even more. And P2000, the final stage, leaving the lens ready for polishing. Each grit has its purpose. Skip one, and you'll see the haze forever. Welcome to John Car Care. Here, we share real hands-on garage experience. The kind of secrets pros usually keep to themselves. Today's video is all about showing you why 80% of headlight restoration success comes from sanding, and how you can apply it to get pro-level results. So just how important is sanding, and what happens if you do it wrong? One time, a customer brought in a Mazda 3. He had bought a headlight polishing kit online and tried to do it himself. At first, the headlights looked clearer, but just 3 weeks later, they turned yellow again, worse than before. When we inspected, we found out he only used P2000 sandpaper and went straight to polish, skipping the coarse sanding needed to remove the hardened yellow layer. The result? The oxidation was still there underneath, and polishing only made it temporarily shiny. Once the headlights are cleaned and masked off, we start with P800 sandpaper. P800 is the safest starting point for most cloudy headlights. It's strong enough to cut through the yellowed outer layer, yet gentle enough not to dig too deep into the lens. This step lays the foundation for everything that comes next. After P800 has taken care of the heavy yellowing, we move up to P1000. This grit doesn't remove oxidation. It's all about refining the scratches left behind by P800. Think of it as leveling the surface. If you rush past this step, you'll trap deep sanding marks under the finer grits, and they'll show up even after polishing. So take your time here. Make sure the lens looks evenly frosted before moving on. After removing the deeper scratches with P1000, we move up to P1500. This is a crucial transition stage. It refines the surface and clears out any medium scratches left behind. Think of P1500 as fine-tuning, preparing the lens for the final sanding stage. Done right, polishing will be faster and the clarity much deeper. But if you rush it, those scratches will stay locked in, and no polish can fully hide them. Now we move to P2000, the final sanding stage before polishing. This grit doesn't cut much. Its job is to erase the faint scratches left from P1500 and give the lens a smooth, uniform haze. Done right, polishing becomes quick and effortless, and the clarity is crystal clear. But if you rush P2000, those micro scratches will stay visible even after polish. And now we move to the final 20%, the polishing. At this stage, the lens has already been perfectly prepared by sanding. Polishing's job is simply to remove that frosted haze and bring out crystal clear transparency. If the sanding was done right, polishing takes just a couple of passes. But if sanding was rushed, you could polish all day and the headlight would never truly clear up. For polishing, start with a wool pad or a firm foam pad paired with a cutting compound to clear the fine marks left by P2000. Then, switch to a softer foam pad with a finishing polish to bring out maximum clarity and shine. When working with a machine, keep a moderate speed, move slowly with about 50% overlap, and let the pad glide. Don't press down too hard, or you'll create swirls or even burn the surface. You'll know it's polished enough when the lens looks crystal clear, the frosted haze is completely gone, and angled light reveals no sanding marks or haze. Once polishing is done and the lens looks crystal clear, most people think the job is finished. But the truth is, if you stop here, the headlights will start to yellow again in just weeks or months. That's why protection, either with clear coat or ceramic, is essential. It acts like a shield against UV rays, keeping your headlights clear for the long run. So remember, 80% of the success comes from sanding, and the final 20% is polishing and protection. Do it right, and your headlights will stay crystal clear for the long run. If you found this video helpful, hit subscribe so we can bring you more real pro garage tips.